So I have a question. I would love to hear your feedback on this. Why is it that we as humans are more interested in train wrecks than positivity? And let me just say on the front end, I'm guilty of this. I'm the same way. And I bring this up because I'm adding some new videos to the pile here, where I am having my editor, quite honestly, put together. I send him a folder full of pictures or a folder full of some B-roll footage that I will record, give him some music, and then he'll piece it together and put my voiceover in there. And it's just a neat way for me to share some photos of where I live or what anything I want to show you with music and a voiceover. And they're not performing well, and I expected that because they're a different flavor, different feel. But it did beg the question, and I'm going to continue to do them. I have folders full of old photos of when I was on the road, all those years I was a musician. I have photos of when I was in Austria, I have photos of when I was in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, photos of where I live, some of the nice parks. And I'm just going to, why not use them, add some music, add a little voiceover in there, sort of like narration. It's quick, simple, easy peasy, and just give you more content to push out. I feel like that might be interesting to some people. With that said, some videos aren't for everybody. But what I have noticed is the more dramatic a story is, the more engagement it gets. And I'm just as guilty. I love watching a train wreck. I just do. When there's a major scandal or something, and it's all over Facebook, you want to follow it. Deaths. One of my favorite drummers just passed away. His name is Taylor Hawkins. He plays for a band called Foo Fighters. It was a big story, and I was engaged with it, and I wanted to follow it. If instead of him dying, there was a story of him saving a cat from a tree, not the same. But because it was a death and it was so alarming that it kind of takes over the news feeds for a while. Everyone, was glued to their TVs for 9/11, rightfully so. But it was amazing. All these years later, when they come out with these new documentaries, I'm glued to them. I've watched them several times. But I don't watch a documentary on the creation of penicillin. That's a pretty big positive situation in our history. But I wouldn't watch that. But I'll gladly watch the documentary on 9/11. And oddly and eerily, just still to this day, taken aback and amazed at the visual of those planes going into the towers. So why is that? Why are we so attracted to that? When I say we, I'm not going to, it's a blanket statement. I'm not saying everyone is like this. But I think most of us are. And I think some of you might be and not even realize it or be willing to admit it. So I've put out videos about my grandmother, my mother's moving. Those were, high listened to videos because my audience, you guys were interested in that. You guys are definitely interested in family and stories. But talking about my grandmother and her health, talking about my mother's move, the move from Mississippi to Maine, which that video got close to 35,000 views, which was great. I did a quick little video on COVID early on, and it wasn't negative, it wasn't polarizing, it wasn't complaining politically. It was just talking about how it spiked here in my area and how crazy it was to wait in line for hours to get a test and all that stuff. But just having the word COVID in the title made it go viral in a way. I got several thousand views on it. If COVID probably wasn't in that title, I don't think I would have gotten as many views. Could have been the same video, but leaving the word COVID out of it would not have targeted or attracted as many viewers in. Because I guarantee you, a lot of those viewers came in and saw COVID blowing up Hernando, Mississippi. Oh. And same here. I'm just as guilty as this of this, but there's something about a train wreck that just attracts us and our engagement and our attention to it. And why is that? The news, and it's like this everywhere, but the local news for me is Memphis. Memphis doesn't exactly have the best reputation, and it's, if you Google top 5 most dangerous cities and you get 100 blogs giving you the top 5, Memphis is going to be in the top 3 and probably all of them. So when you watch the local news here, rather let me say this, instead of watching the news, it's the little promos they stick at you. They just kind of flash at you during a commercial. You're watching your favorite sitcom, you're watching American Idol, whatever it may be, and in the middle of 2 commercials, you'll get a quick, CBS 5, and they'll give you a quick update. It's the lady at the front at the desk, right? And it's shooting Walmart at 10 o'clock tonight. Murder on Elm Street tonight at 11. Wow. And it just comes at you, and you're like, oh my God. Like, in that 3-second little snippet, it's basically someone telling you, hey, check it out. Later we're going to talk about someone getting killed. And it just kind of hits you. But we're so desensitized to that it's just normal. There's the news. Yep, someone got shot tonight. Yep, someone's kidnapped. Someone got raped. Rape! Shelby Drive, tonight at 11. Whoa! And then they'll go back into a commercial for toilet paper or something. They're not going to hit you with, I'm going to use the cat analogy again. Fireman saves kitten from tree tonight at 11. No one cares about that. It's a nice story. It's cute. It's probably, they're going to might cover it in the news in that 30-minute span. They always try to hit some positive stuff. Some local community action, trying to raise money or whatever. So there might be a little story in there that is about a fireman rescuing a kitty cat from a tree. But it's certainly not going to lead. They're going to lead minute 1 about that shooting that they promoted earlier in the night in the middle of the commercial reel. They come at you with the super high-end negativity, gruesome stories first. Why? Because we love it. We love it. And why is that? I keep asking that. Why is that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. People love tragedy. We love drama. We are confused with facts. We argue facts. But maybe it's because we're just we are emotional beings, and that's what we get attracted to. We watch dramas. A lot of some of the big series that you have on Netflix and HBO and Apple TV and Hulu. You get these amazing series that you'll binge 10 episodes in a weekend. More often than not, they're dramas, right? Another example, true crime documentaries are exploding on Netflix. There's no shortage of true crime documentary series, like what they call limited series, where it's a 4-part documentary on a murderer terrorizing the streets of such and such town, and how it totally, flipped around the town and just terrorized the people, and they were afraid to walk the streets. And you can't help but binge all 4 episodes back to back to back to back, and you lose 5 hours of your day because you're so engaged with learning about a murderer. But if it's a 4-part series on dogs. I'm not watching it. So, so I don't know why I wanted to talk about this. I will be the first one to admit, being a YouTuber, yes, you look at your views. Yes, you look at the amount of comments. Yes, you look at, you know, if a video causes you to lose subscribers or gain subscribers. If there's a YouTuber out there that says they don't care about those things, they're probably lying. And if they don't truly care about them, then I envy them. I don't get totally hung up on them at all. But it is when you have a channel and you're consistently getting a certain amount of views, and then you put out some stuff that gets a significantly lower amount of views, it's alarming. You try to figure out why. What have I done wrong when there is nothing wrong? It's just sometimes you put out a different piece of content, you try something new, and it only attracts a certain subset of your audience, you know. So when I saw that, and I'm going to continue to see that because I'm going to continue to pepper out some of these little narration videos, as I'll call them. And it's fine. If it gets a third of the views, well then, you know what? The third of you that are watching them, I'm glad you like them because it's giving you a different feel, different twist. But it definitely made me think, why is it that I can talk about something that's dramatic and get tens of thousands of views, but do something that's a little more relaxing and positive, a little more creative, and get 800 views. So, and I'm not calling my audience out. I'm not upset. I'm not pointing fingers, because on the very front end of this video, and I'll say it again now, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it a few times in the middle, I'm guilty of this too. I think it's a human thing, but still interesting to think about and talk about. The music that you hear in these videos is not my music. It's not any music from bands I've played in. It's music from the YouTube library. YouTube has a cool audio library now with a ton of songs of all different genres that you can use. That's safe. There's not going to be any copyright issues. It's for you to use. You can still monetize your video with them. You're not going to get blocked. You're not going to get any strikes, nothing. So that's the music I'm using. So just thought I'd throw that out there because I've been getting a lot of questions like, oh my God, I love the music. Is that you? Is that your band? Unfortunately, no. It's not me or any bands I play in. I'm very careful with using any kind of music on this channel because it can disrupt and interrupt your channel by getting blocked. So, all right, y'all. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.